available. Once they're gone for good. Go to the merchandise tent and purchase your tickets now. Prizes include Lane United gear and Firemen Plus memberships. Proceeds from the event support our community's emergency response services. That's over $100 in value. Kids, listen for an announcement at halftime for how you can help with this event. Firemen is an affordable way for members to protect themselves from the unexpected cost of an ambulance or air medical transportation. Even with medical insurance, an emergency ambulance can cost $1,800. Firemen basic membership is only $65 a year or $110 for Firemen Plus. That includes emergency air transportation. For more information, go to firemen.org. Proceeds for this event support local emergency services which are not funded by tax dollars. Join the Firemen Football Challenge and help support our community's emergency response services. He's assisted by Sean.
Well, hello once again, everybody. My name is Isaac Rosenthal. I'm joined alongside, as always, by Gabriel Hernandez, and we are here at the Willamette Lane Center for the home PDL opener. We did the league opener a couple days ago in Portland. Ended up as a 2-0 loss for the Reds. They're hoping to get a little bit different result this time, but Gabe, it's going to be a tough as Kitsap Pumas, always one of the best, if not the best teams in the Northwest Division. They've won the PDL championship on a national level as recently as 2011, so a big ask today. I think kind of going to be a big test for John Gallus's side. Let's go back first and talk a little bit about that game in Portland. The first half ended scoreless, and you could make the argument for either team, and I think the game kind of got a little bit away from Lane United in the second half. Your memories from that, what was it that sort of went wrong for them?
The Timbers did a good job of congesting the middle the entire game. I thought they were defensively pretty organized and committed to keeping the middle of the field theirs. Lane United had a little bit of an issue trying to break that pressure, but at the end of the game they kind of had a few more opportunities. But I think John Gallus will make some adjustments today and see if he can figure out that pressure and get some more opportunities on goal.
Very good. Well, we'll go ahead with some lineups starters for you today, and there are some new names for Lane United. We'll talk about those folks, but we'll run down the 11 first. Matthew Bersana will get the start once again in goal. Amir Sasavarovich, Christian DeLuis, Casey Phillips, and Dirk Vanderbilt will be the back four. Will Seymour, Isma Fernandez, Matthias Binder, and Christian Catalunya in the midfield, and then that Oregon State Beaver pairing of Timothy Mueller and Jordan Jones up front. The starting lineup for Kitsap, there'll be Corey Kites, Justin Ortinau, Trevor Jensen, Nick Hammer, Jacob Bond, Carlos Patino, Joe Masayuma, Bubba Jama, Matt Grossi, and Matthew Ernaramo, and also Mike Ramos. Now, interesting note about that Kitsap lineup, they're 3-4-3 on the sheet that was provided to us by the Kitsap head coach, and not the most common formation. So what do you have to do if you're John Gallus, get your boys ready to play against a little bit different look like that?
Well, it leaves them a little bit exposed in the back. So if they were to start off in a 4-3-3, if Lane United were to start off in a 4-3-3, that would create a 1v1 situation across the back line for Kitsap, which is a good situation if you're attacking.
Well, and it plays sort of to the strengths that we've seen from some of these Lane United players. Certainly Timothy Mueller is a lot to deal with one-on-one. He's a big dude and he's fast. We're going to take a quick break here for America the Beautiful. Have you ever seen bagpipes on a pitch before, Gabriel?
I have a few times over in Europe, but first time here.
Well, a first time for everything indeed, and maybe another first is have a helicopter flyover at a PDL game.
Wow.
I think that one we'll have to do some research. We'll see what we can find, but that might be new. Like we said, we are just about ready here, so we talked a little bit about formationally the challenges and the opportunities that Kitsap's 3-4-3 is going to present, but just in general, when you're this early in a season and you have, John Gallus has pretty much come right out and said it. This is, as tough a test as you face in the Northwest Division of the PDL, so how do you get yourself focused for this kind of game?
Well, I think naturally they know that they have their hands full with a mature, experienced team. We know last year Kitsap did very well in this league, and so I think John has prepared his team mentally. I think the psychological piece will be one of the most important pieces to this game. And then obviously still on the pitch, we're still trying to figure each other out. That cohesiveness is still something that they're looking to improve. And today is another step forward.
Absolutely. And, you might ask why it is that Kitsap is always up there in the PDL. Has to do a little bit with some of those rule intricacies with the NCAA. As a college athlete, and we know a lot of these Lane United athletes are, you can play against professionals without jeopardizing your collegiate eligibility. You cannot play alongside them. So if you're the front office in a PDL team, you need to decide, are we going to be professional? And sometimes that's a couple of pro players, sometimes that's entirely a pro team, or you have the Lane United approach, are we going to be top-level youth guys, college kids? So a little bit different culture club-wise for Kitsap Pumas compared to Lane United, but there's no reason to believe that Lane cannot win this game. They played two very close games against Kitsap last year. One of them was a 2-0 loss, but it was one of those 2-0 losses that didn't really feel like it was that far apart. One goal scored in that game on a penalty by Kitsap, and another one capitalizing off of a defensive error turnover inside the box. The other game, which was the home game last year for Lane United, they actually did go up 1-0 before falling 2-1. So nothing's undoable here. I think you need to kind of appreciate the challenge, but nothing is out of reach here.
No, not at all. I think both teams physically match up about the same, but I'm looking forward to seeing what Kitsap presents us. It looks like now they've gone back to possibly 4 in the back, but we will see if this changes.
So we will have to see. It is going to be Kitsap that starts the game with the ball. And we are all set to play here. Referees confirming that with everybody. Give you a rundown of who those officials are. In the center, it's going to be Farah Dodko. William Duker and Benjamin Warren are his assistants, and the fourth official tonight, Ian Miller. So direct your comments appropriately. Underway here, and Kitsap trying to attack right off the opening whistle. Play it back to the midfield and now back to defense as they'll sort of try and see out what Lane United's doing defensively and try to figure out how they need to do to orchestrate to fix it. Immediately it's a through ball up the field and too far up the field into touch for a goal kick.
Kitsap playing a little bit higher pressure, a little higher than we saw at Portland to take away the short play from Bersano, so we will go direct on this. We'll see if this continues throughout the game.
And we'll do as well as we can. I'll let you know off the bat with identifying the Kitsap players. The way their jerseys work, it's not particularly easy to see all of those jersey numbers, so might be a little bit of guesswork involved tonight, but we'll do what we can. They are in the blue, white, and yellow, and Lane United, as they often are, in the red and white.
Yeah, kind of like a couple optical illusions.
Yeah.
On those jerseys, huh?
And sounds like our Piper has found his way to the Red Aces.
Yes, he has.
So, I'm sure that won't get old for anyone. Meanwhile, in the game here, a little bit of bouncing around the midfield. Going to be a throw in here coming for Kitsap on the far side. Just over a minute in, still no score. And off a Kitsap head there, but knocked forward by Lane United. And now all the way back defensively for Kitsap. Back across the pitch. Thought about playing a long ball there.
So Kitsap a little different than what we saw at Portland, spreading the field out, not isolating their attack down the middle of the field, but more to the flanks. As you can see, they're playing
a great ball there and a nice play with the head there, but knocked away. Looked like a 10 there. I don't have a 10 on my roster for Kitsap. And swung across there as Kitsap switches the play. That was Nick Hammer with the cross pitch pass. And Lane just trying to move backwards here, get Kitsap away from them so they can turn and clear. Instead, they'll have to kick it straight to the Pumas. A little bit of pressure, though, as Kitsap plays it to the back line and now back through the midfield, trying to trip it through there, but that's going to trickle all the way down out of play for another goal kick for Bersano.
Yeah, Lane United doing well there, staying compact, organized, communicated well, didn't allow much space, and goal kick for us.
And right through the middle there, touch for Isma Hernandez. He had a goal in the exhibition opener, but here's some pressure for Kitsap as they try to get the ball. Goal kick coming.
Some good pace there from their tall forward. Sort of a lazy ball played backwards, and he intercepted it and almost had his way with the back line for Lane United.
Yeah, you know, we've seen one or two times already kind of little casual plays for Kitsap that all of a sudden turn into pretty dangerous opportunities. They haven't gotten the shots on target yet, but spatially they've been good, but a takeaway there. And now a tackle from behind. Not too aggressive, but enough to draw the foul. And Lane plays it quickly and goes backwards. Touch for De Luis here. He knocks it forward for Jordan Jones. And Jones tried to find Vanderveld, but a little bit too far in front of him. Vanderveld's got some pretty good capabilities on the wing.
Yeah, some better movement even ahead of him. A higher winger coming back to a ball rather than running away, providing us support higher up the field, which was something we did not see in our last game.
And foul there called against Lane United, so Kitsap will have the free kick. And that's a 16 there, not a 10. That's the mystery. So that's Bubba Jama. I'm sure I am not quite 100% on that pronunciation. Lane trying to take it away. Here's a
3v3
numbers break for Lane United as Jordan Jones tried to flip it forward for Timothy Mueller, but they weren't quite on the same page. And Will Seymour has to slide down and clear that one right into the grandstand. Jama throws in for Trevor Jensen and right back to Jama. Jama now to the middle and all the way across the pitch as Kitsap switches the play again. Cleared forward by Lane United, trying to find Mueller, but it hit the back of a Kitsap Puma.
As you can see, Kitsap providing their attack, or their attacking three with 6 more players, really getting numbers forward, which is ideal if you want to keep possession in the attacking third.
Yeah, absolutely, and maybe we'll see Lane try to hit him on the counter attack here. They do have those that great combination up front, and such an advantage when you have players like Mueller and Jones that have been teammates before, and pretty prolific scoring tandem for Oregon State, not just teammates that happen to play with each other. Some backline possession here as Lane tries to press forward now on the far side. And they may get an opportunity to get the ball in on a cross, but just as I say that, taken away and now knocked out for a Kitsap throw-in.
Lane United now trying to attack up both flanks. They've had an opportunity on both sides. Still have not quite found that last combination to break pressure.
So just into the 7th minute here, the PDL home opener, and it is the Kitsap Pumas in town against the Lane United Football Club. Kitsap won both of the games last year by scores of 2-0 and 2-1, and they are always one of the perennial powers in this division, trying to switch the field there and the penetrating pass, and they do get a cross in. Might come right back to Kitsap here. And physical defense there. Whistle eventually comes.
Good shoulder-to-shoulder tackle there by Vanderveld. Was able to knock the opponent off balance and win the goal kick.
And Lowermore is the backup goalkeeper. That's Bersano there, just playing it short to De Luis. And it's back to Bersano. Still trying to press forward, but not able to really sustain that possession so far, Lane United are. And Jama trying to move it forward there for Mike Ramos. Long upfield pass from Lane United is too far. It's going to go all the way back to Matt Grossi, the Kitsap goalkeeper. And another long ball there. That's a good pass, but a little bit misjudged by the forward. Had to be slid tackled out of there.
It's a good diagonal run by the forward. He unpredictable with his run and managed to sneak in behind there.
And that'll be the free kick just on the touchline here. Vanderveld's going to take it, and we'll see what he can make happen with it. Instead, just slides it back. Touch for Seymour, back to Bersano. And right back to Seymour. We talked about Will Seymour a lot already. Can play pretty much anywhere on the back line for Lane United, and very talented prospect, third-round draft pick in the FC Dallas organization. So we'll have to see kind of how the rest of his Lane United career plays out. Not one of those things that you have to deal with at this level. You might lose players. Lane familiar with that, with kind of losing Kyrie Shelton in the middle of the season last year.
Right, and today Seymour being pushed into a higher role as a sort of a holding mid. We saw him against the Timbers as a center back, but today Gallus is Mr. Gallus, I should call him, has pushed him up a little higher into the midfield to see if he can maybe get in and support a little bit more of the midfield build-up.
And that ball played through to the middle. Could have been dangerous, but Kitsap got there, and some players running into each other for Lane United. It's Binder and Hernandez that had a bit of a coming together. Binder with his first start of the season, and first big moment for him here at the Willamette Lane Center.
And if you're Lane United, you want to see Jordan Jones and Will Mueller get in, or Timmy Mueller get into a 1v1 situation up front with that big body. Those big bodies and that good pace, they could easily find themselves in the back of the net.
Absolutely. Well, now it's Kitsap attacking, and they try to slide that one through, but Bersano will come and collect it with his feet, and now picks it up and slides it over to Vanderveld. Vanderveld to De Luis, who looks upfield. He's being allowed the space to think about it, so he'll do so. And Jordan Jones all the way back, almost a part of the midfield there. Back for De Luis in his own box, a quick touch to Bersano.
Kitsap cutting the field in half and pushing it to one side. That's good defending, making Lane United have to play in a little bit more reduced space and having to play a little bit more direct.
And there go the Pumas, but headed on an interception there, and Kitsap's going to have to restart. Into touch, Kitsap's throw-in. 12th minute here, still no score. No shots.
A possession game.
A possession game indeed, and it's been mostly Kitsap possession. That's a cross there, trying to get into the box, but takes a strange flight. The wind does tend to affect play here a little bit, and that's a good move for Kitsap. There's our first shot, and there's our first save. Always got to be nice as a goalkeeper to get that first touch. You'd like it to maybe come a little bit sooner than 12 minutes in, just so that you're not really loose, but as long as it's a good touch, I think you'll take it whenever it happens.
Yes, good little icebreaker, get the nerves out, and then you get to resume play.
Meanwhile, on the other end of the field, Matt Grossi's had to just sort of keep himself warm so far. Pretty chilly for a May evening here. And throw in coming for the Kitsap Pumas. Playing it at the back here, still trying to figure something out. They've had the better of possession, but only the one shot. Still one more than Lane United does have at this point, but a lot of game left as Jama tries to get around, and a nice tackle there to win the ball back. So Seymour with the pass there that's intercepted.
Kitsap again really circulating the ball well, have good composure and patience in the midfield, and are now trying to switch the point of attack, maybe catch Lane United off guard on the weak side, and then looking for a cross and a finish.
And Kitsap plays it backwards here. Jordan Jones will try to just cut the passing lane, but over his head to Jama, who has to play it backwards himself. Pumas again just trying to figure something out. And that's a good long pass, but hits a defender and going to be cleared away out into touch there by Casey Phillips. Just put his boot through it. Quick throw in for Kitsap. They try to get the ball to the middle, and almost a brilliant tap there, but Lane United able to get in front of it.
Bersano playing fast there, trying to exploit the 2v2 that Kitsap left in the back against Mueller and Jones.
Bersano, no stranger to those long goal kicks. That was one of the biggest differences we saw between him and his counterpart up in Portland. Now De Luis finds Vanderveld, and here's an opportunity for Lane United. Vanderveld to the middle. Knocked away, but Binder able to get ahead to it, and then Catalunya with the head. And chasing it down is Christian Catalunya. Still with it now, the number 5 for Lane United. Back to Vanderveld. Back quick touch to Binder. He gets it right back, but cleared away. That was the best Lane United have looked, that little 45-second patch there, and they still have the ball. It's Will Seymour in possession.
Yeah, that was good, positive play, and we're unfortunate to not have that combination end up getting them into the box.
And on the opposite wing now was Amir Sasavarovic, and he'll take the throw-in.
You know, a key to this game is getting Vanderveld, get his pace established on the outside and get him into the attacking third. He is a capable player of he's very capable of playing a good ball in either in the air or on the ground, making it easy to finish for a forward.
Yeah, absolutely, and a long throw in there. They'll try to attack it right away, Lane United, and it's a good thought. Always like to see those throw-ins utilized almost like set plays when they're in that good of an opportunity, but just plucked out of the air by Kitsap, and they'll try and move up the pitch now.
USL PDL for exclusive league news and interactive content.
And you are watching the PDL on YouTube. YouTube is the league's official online video home, offering live games and feature content. Subscribe for free to the PDL YouTube channel today. Kitsap trying to move through the box there, and a little bit of desperation defending for Lane United. Another throw-in coming for Kitsap. And Jama does throw in, forcing Kitsap to go backwards there. Good pressure from Isma Hernandez. And a big collision there is going to draw a whistle.
As we can remember on in our last game against Portland Timbers, we had a couple of set pieces that ended up being very dangerous, and one of them in particular ended up in the back of the net. So Lane United very aware here, very conscious of this situation, and hoping to clear or gain possession again.
Absolutely. Fans, you can always stay up to date with what is happening throughout the league at uslpdl.com. You can also become a fan of the PDL on Facebook. Visit facebook.com/USLPDL for exclusive league news and interactive content. There's the whistle, there's the motion and the kick coming up. Dangerous one there, and boy, that could have gone wrong in a lot of different ways, but it manages to somehow just harmlessly go into touch.
Absolutely. Anytime a set piece bounces on inside the 6-yard box, it's sort of a keeper's worst nightmare.
And Bersano just flips that one up the pitch. You could follow follow on Twitter. Follow at USLPDL on Twitter to become a PDL League insider, join club conversations, and track notable alumni through their pro careers. Nike is also a proud sponsor of the PDL. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. And Jammo with a touch here. Little 1-2, tried to get it back to Jamma, but too far out in front.
So Nick Homer there, they're holding mid. Play definitely goes through them. It goes from what Kitsap's attempting to do is play through a Homer through their center backs, and Homer do the duty of switching the ball, switching the point of attack, and trying to burn Lane United backside. But he's definitely had a couple of interesting touches and is influencing the game quite a bit.
And whistle in the middle of the field there, and we'll have to keep an eye on that for later, as there was a little bit of a push there from a Kitsap player. Really just a love tap, but we'll see if anything more develops. And you might hear how the Red Aces feel about it. I think usually when they are speaking, I cannot repeat the words.
No, not today. Not yet.
But if you ever do get a chance to come out here and join us at the Willamette Lane Center, they're a big part of the fun.
Good ball. Seymour there on a great switch of play.
Yeah, right to his teammate's chest, and Lane United still with possession here. Isma Hernandez with a touch in the midfield. He gets it to a wide open Vandervelde, or towards him. And now back to Vandervelde, back to Will Seymour, who's playing as far up the pitch as we've seen him all year. Gets a cross in, and a header goes wide, but good connection there, and good to see the team combining with each other like that.
No, that was good. One of the few times we've seen Lane United get 7 players into the attacking third. I like our chances there. Not a bad ball in. Mueller tried to head that. Maybe back post. Maybe if he goes back post, he has a teammate tap it in, but decided to go with the shot on goal.
And some more play in the midfield here for Kitsap. Thought about switching the play, but right back to the middle.
That was a foul.
And foul called there, free kick Lane United. 21st minute, no score. Couple of shots now. Neither one getting the better of either keeper. As Will Seymour once again gets it to Hernandez. And Sasavarovic finds Jordan Jones.
Vandervelde wide open on the backside here. If they were to get him a ball, he would have his way here, getting into the box.
Yeah, and they just got to find him at the right time. We'll see if Will Seymour can look up and do so. Instead, a short pass to Hernandez, and it's a giveaway there, but no harm, no foul. Lane United gets it right back. And long ball there. Hernandez gets a tap to it, and Mueller's going to try to chase it down, but sliding into it first to knock it out of play are the Kitsap Pumas. Knocked down there, and
good. First set piece.
Whistle coming up.
First set piece in scoring distance for Lane United. Let's see what we do here.
Certainly in that range, you can try and find someone's head or set something up. What's the ideal plan here for John Gallus?
I say he's going to do a driven ball, possibly to the back post, maybe a short ball to the middle of the field, but he does have 4 players pushed up into the box. We shall see.
Well, they try and sort themselves out. There's the whistle. Looks like Lane's ready to take this one. And it is knocked into the box. Finds a Kitsap head, and then Binder with a long one.
That was a good idea. We had we have some big bodies to throw around up there in the box and try to use the height as an advantage. Just a little unfortunate on that one.
Another reminder, Lane United would like to thank its official jersey, perhaps most importantly beer, and broadcast sponsor, Oakshire Brewing of Eugene. We'd also like to take this moment to remind you that today's broadcast is brought to you in part by KMTR News Source 16 in Eugene. KMTR is Lane United FC's official media partner. And ball put on the ground there. It'll be a free kick, Lane United, in the 24th minute.
Looking around the bleachers, they have slowly become full.
Yeah, they've filled themselves out pretty well here. Got almost 450 people at the exhibition opener, and I'd like to think we've got at least that many here today.
Yes.
Binder here has to shield the ball, turn around, go back to his defense. Good job to maintain possession, though, but now it's taken away. All kind of pinballing around off some heads in the midfield. Free kick now for Kitsap. And they'll take their time a little bit before playing it short. There's a long ball, and our scoreboard is stopped once again at 24 minutes. Happened in both the first and the second half in the opener, so something with the programming. Yeah.
Kitsap on a short corner.
Very short corner. They do eventually get it in, and that's a good header off the bar. And well, that was as dangerous as anything we've seen so far.
Yeah, anytime you can catch the opponent off guard, not looking, not paying attention to a short corner, you take advantage of it. And as you can see, it can almost result in a goal.
Yeah, that could have very easily resulted in a goal. Throw in there to Binder, and now back to Vandervelde. But intercepted, taken away by Kitsap. And Kitsap having to go back almost to the midfield stripe here before turning around. That's Jama with it, a lot of possession himself. And we'll call it the 26th minute.
Now Kitsap doing a really good job of getting numbers forward, leaving two at the back and everyone else into the attack.
And it's proved a lot for Lane United to deal with so far. They've sort of done well enough, but haven't been able to get much going offensively on their own. They do get a free kick here. And, oh, there's an opportunity. Jordan Jones now with some space in front of him. Jones still space in front of him as he nears the box. And that's going to be a corner kick coming up. So
that's a great run by Jones, coming back and supporting the play rather than running away and providing us a little bit more support higher up the field and in a seam that was a clear seam that the center back was able to find. I'd say that's the recipe for the rest of the half as far as our attack goes. I think it could prove very effective and allow us to keep the ball higher up the field.
Yeah, and we haven't seen quite as much of Jones as we've seen of Mueller so far, but when you do get the chance to see them play together, they do good things. Corner comes into the box, gets down and chested down for Lane United. Edge of the box now, long shot by Binder, hits a shin pad, and we'll do it all again, throw in Lane United. Better in the last 2 minutes.
Yes, indeed. A little bit more activity up front, a little, some more checking runs, which, I really think is a key to this game.
So there comes the throw in, but right to a Kitsap foot is, I think everyone not quite on the same page there. And now Kitsap moving backwards again, so they've been on the attack and they've been in possession for most of the game, but very deliberate from Kitsap. They've been starting at the back and letting everyone get a chance to get in position before they move forward.
Yeah, they spread the field really well, and they rely heavily on their holding mid to establish flank play.
So the whistle coming and a discussion with the referee. Not sure what the lecture is about here. Do you have any thoughts?
I would say maybe he had some words with the referee, and the referee disagreed with what was being said, and just gave him a little heads up that he's probably not going to deal with it much longer.
Don't wanna hear the magic words too often.
No. So far, so good with the referee. I think he's done a good job controlling this game, sort of letting the flow build up, no stop and start, and that's fun to watch.
Yeah, he's done well, and the team's doing well, providing an entertaining start. Out to the wing here go Kitsap, and right off the chest of Vandervelde. Corner kick coming. We saw a little bit earlier a very quick, very short corner from Kitsap. Almost led to a goal, but the crossbar got in the way. We'll see if they go with something similar. Doesn't look like it, as there's no one else in the vicinity of the corner flag, so would imagine they'd whip this one into the box.
Lane United can counterattack here. They have plenty of space to do it in. Just need to get bodies forward immediately after this play ends.
So there it is, and a nice defensive header there for Lane United. It'll remain with Kitsap, but much less dangerous there than in the box. And having to watch that one bounce around a little bit and then eventually knocking it back over his head was Sasavarovic. Name gets a little easier to say every time you say it.
You're doing well. I'm impressed.
Oh, good move there from Seymours. He'll look to just try and start something.
Got a runner
I think he's had a bit of, I think Seymour's reaching the point where he's had enough, does not draw the foul there.
No, I think that was fair play. I think he held on to the ball a little too long. Defender was able to slide in and push him off the ball with a shoulder tackle, and now resulting in a switch of possession.
Well, it did go out into touch, so it is a throw-in for Kitsap as we approach 30 minutes on the clock here.
Now already I'm starting to see in the body language of Kitsap is establishing the flanks, getting wide, and now they're attempting to switch the ball with a little bit more urgency and not as lackadaisical as they were doing previously.
Well, there's Binder, slides it on the ground up for Mueller. Mueller back to Sasavarovic. And now back to the back line, go Lane United. Still at the back are the Reds, trying to chip something up forward here. Right in front of Gabriel and myself. Vandervelde's still in a lot of space.
Vandervelde's a good option here.
And they go to Vandervelde, who tried to get it to Catalunya, but hit a Kitsap chest and is now cleared centrally. So De Luis with it. Matthias Binder. And he plays a great ball there, but climbing the ladder to get it is Matt Grossi.
So that ball is sort of floated in. It's easier for goalkeepers to deal with when it's floated in because you have more time to get your footwork, set your feet, and make a play on the ball. As to the difference between that and like a driven ball, where you don't have that time and that sort of that composure. It's a little bit more frantic when a driven ball comes in the box. A little more dangerous as well.
And Kitsap now trying to pick here a little bit. This is a good opportunity. They get to the edge of the box, try to slide it in, but Vandervelde will just knock that one out of the complex.
Yeah, a couple times now they've got into the box on the right side there. They have good pace on that side and have managed to squeak in a few times.
And similar to the second goal, we saw the Timbers U23 score where they just slid the ball in and kind of one-timed it home. I think it may have been from the opposite wing, actually, but here's a chance for Mueller to run onto that one. Instead, he runs into his man.
We might see a warning here, but I don't think so. No, not too bad.
And back for Kitsap now. Some center back play off to the wings. They try and move it up in the midfield. It's a body, though, right back for Kitsap.
Oof.
33rd minute, no score. Headed forward by Seymour and by Catalunya. And Mueller sort of disposes of his man there, but that's not within the rules of the game.
Easy to do when you're a big guy like that.
Usually, personally used to being on the opposite side of those interactions. De Luis steps in front of that one to try and clear it out, but it was right back to Kitsap, so still a dangerous situation as Jamma with it now. Jamma darts through a couple guys, and ball comes around, and finally Will Seymour able to find Jordan Jones, who's going to try and take off here on the near side touchline.
Mueller in good position if they can find him through. Oh, we're going to slow it down. Good patience here by Lane United.
De Luis now up and over the head of Jordan Jones. So they've been trying to find the forwards on those long balls and haven't seen them quite connect just yet, but certainly something to keep an eye on because Lane does have some guns up front.
Yes, and in that case, a lot of pressure was already committed to this side. Maybe a quick switch and then a through ball on the ground to a forward is the way to go.
Well, here's Kitsap trying to penetrate here, but Will Seymour gets in front of that one. Moving backwards with it now are Lane United, trying to give their forwards a chance to get up the field.
As you can see, Mueller on those long direct balls is still in a 1v3. Even if he receives, he's outnumbered by 3 players. So it would be a tough ball for him to receive. But also once he gets it down on the ground, he is at a disadvantage. So maybe mixing it up and trying to find Mueller on the ground, or maybe in isolated 1v1 situation.
1v1's really where you want to get a guy like that. Here's a chance for Kitsap as ball sliding around and just does go out of play for a corner kick for the Kitsap Pumas. So we'll see if they play this one short, or it looks like they'll take it direct into the box. Putting it down on the spot there are the Pumas, and lifted into the box. Looking for a header. They found a head, but has to be cleared away by Lane United. And right back, far side of the box, they try to find the Pumas, but an out of play goal kick coming, or must have been knocked off by a red shirt. It's another corner. So to take the corner kick, 36th minute here. Here comes the corner. It's a head one-time shot, and good look there. There was certainly a lane for that to be shot through. Touch for De Luis.
A lot of pressure on this side. Kitsap doing a good job committing numbers, keeping the ball on this side of the field, on the right side of the field, and then obviously resulting in another turnover.
So a little less than 10 minutes left in this half. What would you like to see from Lane United as we approach halftime here?
Yeah, I'd like to see those 3 guys up front coming back to the ball and seeing if they can create a seam, or find a seam rather, to keep possession.
Well, just like that, the offside flag goes up, but we talked about finding Mueller on the ground.
Yes. I think for any soccer player, finding feet is much easier to deal with, and obviously can result in a instant opportunity on goal.
Yeah, and just a couple of steps misaligned there, but I think if he had been onside, I think he had the space, just sort of starting from the wrong space there.
Yeah, kind of the timing was off a little bit, but hopefully see more of those diagonal runs. Those are dangerous.
Nice. We have our first visit from a train of the game.
Maybe we'll get some traveling fans jumping off.
Maybe. Throw in near the corner flag for Kitsap Pumas. And they go back up the pitch with it and now try and ship it to the box. Lane United had more numbers there, and
a high kick. This is a dangerous one because it's so close to goal. I imagine Lane United will set up a decent-sized wall.
Well, Lane not done arguing yet before the Kitsap Pumas try and put it down and play it short, or play it quick rather. I don't dislike that from Kitsap. I think you got to have your head on and got to be watching the game, but the referee will whistle it and make them do it again.
Yes, Kitsap has the option here of asking for 10 yards, or they could play fast. And in that case, I think Lane United had distracted the ref and got his attention, so he wasn't paying full attention to what Kitsap was trying to do. Otherwise, I think they would have let that go.
Well, Kitsap will indeed, now that they have to slow it down. We'll see if maybe they play this as a shot. And
yeah, they want to look at that post that's being covered by the Lane United wall. That is definitely an option. They're pretty close. So I think a driven ball on goal is what we're going to see.
And second touch there, it's on the ground, but Persano watching it the whole time. Good job to not fall for that first motion there and leap in the air, being nowhere to be seen. Instead, very disciplined goalkeeping.
Already today, we're seeing Persano have to play long. He's probably already doubled the amount of times he did against Portland.
And game a little bit more physical over the last 2 or 3 minutes here. No stranger to physical play is the PDL.
No.
And I think the American game in general tends to be more physical one than, certainly by stereotype,
right,
maybe some of these Spanish players are used to.
Sure. I think actually both teams are going for that last 5-minute momentum swing, going to the locker room happy, maybe with a 1-goal lead. So we might see a little bit more risk going forward now.
Here it is for Jones, and Jones misjudged it there a little bit. It's going to cost Lane United possession. I think if you're the Reds, you would be very happy going into halftime 1-0 with the amount of possession Kitsap has had.
Sure.
That one off a hand.
Yeah, but nothing too dangerous except for the one off the post. But other than that, everything was somewhat controlled. However, if you're Lane United, you want more opportunities on goal and more possession.
So Vandervelde combining with De Luis. De Luis slides it forward. It hit a Kitsap boot. Could have been back to Lane United, but whistle will give the Kitsap Pumas a free kick as we're into the 41st minute.
Follow at USL PDL on Twitter to become a PDL League insider. Join club conversations and track notable alumni through their program.
And there's a long ball on the wing. Just trying to keep it in play are the Pumas. I thought they did, but then the whistle came. Vandervelde will put it down, think about it, and pick it back up. Look for someone to throw it into. Looked for Jones. It hit a Kitsap Puma head. Was Jama's head. And Vandervelde will find himself 20 yards or so up the pitch, throwing it in one more time.
It's a good combination.
Mueller, that's a dangerous combination indeed. Christian Catalunya with it. He fires across the face of goal and was played by a Kitsap defender before it was just pounced on by Matt Grossi.
Yeah, that was the best work we've seen up front by Lane United tonight. Great little in, back, and through combination, and almost gets Lane United into the box and then into the net.
Yeah, and certainly looked like the hardest Grossi's had to work so far. It wasn't too hard, but danger there of taking out your own player and not getting clean control of the ball. Could have very easily had it trickling back into his own net.
Absolutely.
So 42nd minute. Scoreless here at the Willamette Lane Center, the home opener in the PDL season for Lane United. They dropped the season opener just 2 days ago, so we'll have to see if fatigue sets in as an offside goes against Kitsap here, but those legs might get a little heavier in the second half.
Possibly. I mean, to be young again, I think is the best way to sum it up. I think these guys will be fine. There's a couple new bodies in this lineup, so I'm sure they're well rested. But the temperature's nice little breeze. I don't think we're dealing with the heat we dealt with in our last game. So we shall see how they carry on.
And certainly some subs that John Gallus has available to him. So Jama tries to knock it through to the middle there. Cleared partially by Lane United.
Jama, good little outside back here. I like his ability to get forward, and he's pretty smooth on the ball. Has some good ideas with his vision. He's definitely someone that we should keep an eye on.
Yeah, he's got some speed too, and that could cause problems. If Lane United does get a little tired in the second half, they could look to exploit that. But good energy so far from the Reds. De Luis will put this one down for the free kick, and knocks it forward, headed by Kitsap. And again, the visitors trying to move up the pitch here. Far side, and now through to the middle, and that one whistled, but
possibly a handball. I didn't quite have the angle on it, but the referee sure did.
The referee sure did. He made the whistle and sprinted right to the spot, so he's got a conference around him, but I don't think they're going to change his mind.
So Lane United have to be careful here, make sure that everything is sort of secure, well communicated, and covered because of obviously the time of the game right now and the possibility of going into the locker room down one. So we don't want that to happen, but definitely a high-risk opportunity for Kitsap here.
We saw about 5 minutes ago they had a free kick from virtually the same spot, just on the other side of the box, and they went with a little 1-2 there. You think they'll go with the same look?
It looks like we have some new kick takers. This lineup, the way he's lining up, looks like he just goes direct, and he does.
Well, it is direct, and it's a goal right into the back of the net. What a shot there!
So in that situation, most keepers are hoping that they don't go over the wall to the post so that it is unprotected, and he sort of went with reverse psychology and went at the keeper. Tough one for Lane United. Great hit on goal, though.
Yeah, absolutely great take, and really not much Bersano could have done.
No, these days kick takers, it's down to a science. If you can get that top spin, it does all sorts of movement in the air, dips quite a bit, makes life hard for a keeper.
So we'll put it on the board. Just one of them, though, on the board. And Justin Ortinau, the goal scorer in the 45th minute. So a lot of hard work for Lane United, and very different halftime speech now that John Gallus has got to scrap what he was working on and figure something else out.
Yeah, it's tough, to give up a goal, that part of the game. But going into the locker room and then coming up with a game plan for the second half, I think John Gallus needs to really push his forwards to come back to the ball, make these checking runs into the seams that allow the center back to find them directly on the ground as opposed to the air, and allowing them to possess higher up the field and allow some supporting runs to get in behind the forwards. So they've established a direct play, but I think now you get more support from your forwards coming back as a key to this second half for Lane United.
Absolutely. Well, we will take a break here. Don't go anywhere, though, because have some halftime entertainment that may be visible on the field. I'm not sure where they're doing it, but Fire Med here for a promotion might be fun to watch. Probably will look pretty chaotic without sound and enjoyable for all. So 1-0 the score. Kitsap takes the lead on a free kick just at the stroke of halftime. The goal scorer again was Justin Ortinau. We will take a quick break. Don't you go anywhere. Well, hello once again. We're back for the second half of play, and the first half, I think, with a frustrating scoreline for Lane United. They played really pretty darn well, and Kitsap able to find a set piece back of the net in the 45th minute. So I think a tough halftime talk. What was the focus from John Gallus?
Oh, I think John is probably going to focus put most of his focus on getting some of the attack going Lane United way. You know, what I was talking about previous to this halftime was, you know, finding the seams, finding a checking forward, and not so much a forward running away and trying to play a direct ball over the top, but trying to find a forward's feet who's checking too, and then keeping the ball higher up the field. Obviously, that's not going to put the ball in the back of the net. So if we do manage to get the ball a little higher up the field, then you can start introducing more attacking runs from the outside players in behind the ball.
Well, we are just about all set. Referee making sure no one has snuck a 12th player onto the field. And once he's determined he's ready, we'll be ready. 45 minutes on the clock. There's the whistle. There's the start of the second half. So 1-0 for Kitsap, and Lane's going to have to try and figure something out here to avoid going down with their second straight loss to start the PDL season. And immediately right back to Bersano, his first touch of the second half. We will keep an eye out for substitutes. They're not announced at halftime, and it's virtually impossible to read the Kitsap numbers anyway. So
yeah, maybe
it'll be a struggle, but the Lane United number is much easier to read, so we'll eventually be able to identify their 11, see if we notice any differences.
There's something different, a big long diagonal to from one corner to the other to try to catch the backside defender there off guard and maybe get us in early.
And that ball bouncing around there, Jordan Jones disposes of his man, earns a foul for his troubles. And taking his time to get up on the play is the Kitsap Puma there. Eventually does collect himself. And the free kick to start play once again from Kitsap. That one goes all the way down the field to Bersano. And Kitsap with it in the middle of the park. Feel like we've said that a few times today.
Yes, they're doing a good job of stretching out Lane United, going side to side, and then doing that with switch of play through the middle of the field.
Well, trying to press up a little bit more now is Kitsap. Good give and go there, and a third foot in on it. Dangerous pass, but eventually collected by Lane United. Cleared halfway out, and being knocked down there is Will Seymour.
Ooh, this could be a
referee calling straight for the trainer, and it didn't look like there was that much contact, but it doesn't take a lot of contact when the contact is to the head. So we will not speculate here, and we'll let the trainers do what the trainers' jobs are.
Yeah, just in Seymour's body language, it looked like he was a little shaken up, but is walking off under his own power here.
And we will we'll keep an eye out. Free kick coming up for Lane United. Doesn't look like any changes coming.
Nope. Seymour back on the field.
So good to see, and something certainly for any children that might be watching the stream. If you do ever take a knock to the head, don't go back into play if you're not ready to go back into play. There's a difference between playing hurt sometimes and playing injured, but a head injury is not one you should mess with.
No.
And Sasavarovic now will move this one all the way back. The Piper is at it again with the Red Aces. I think they're both enjoying each other's company. And good ball there. Trying to move up again is Kitsap. That's a good ball and caused some problems for Lane United, but a sliding clearance into touch, throw in coming.
Once again, Kitsap committing quite a big number of players into the box in the attacking third, hoping for a short combination and maybe a through ball that breaks the pressure.
And there was some combination passing there and some sort of one-touch stuff.
Good turn.
Kitsap trying to move in here. Long shot comes through. Offside. 5 minutes into the second half, it's still 1-0 on the 45th minute goal on the free kick from Justin Ortinau. Real nice free kick. It just got the better of the wall, and Bersano was really left with no other option to sit and watch it. Far side of the field. And now moving back toward the middle and going backwards while they're doing it are the Reds. Touch for Casey Phillips, who will look up, try to play a long ball to Mueller. And off of a head for Kitsap as they'll try and collect it and clear now.
So already it looks like John's coaching points in the locker room during halftime were to sort of introduce a long diagonal from the center backs, going from one corner to the other and trying to catch Kitsap in a 1v1 either with Jones or Mueller.
So ball bouncing around off some heads here and players bouncing around off each other. We'll take a free kick Lane United's way. Just outside the center circle. Put down by Binder. Quick free kick taken, and coming out to meet that one is Grossi. Ball sort of flutters there as Kitsap tries to clear it. Vandervelde will try and steal it.
Lane United with a little bit more high pressure there, more bodies around the ball, disrupting play and not allowing Kitsap to sort of establish their attack by spreading wide with very low pressure.
And long ball there has to be headed out of play by Casey Phillips, and it's just going to be a throw-in for Kitsap. And so 425 sounds like it'll be the announced attendance here, so very good numbers. Nice to see Lane United drawing fans in their second season.
Yeah, I think that's a number that's going to make everyone behind this club smile.
The official attendance for tonight's game is 475.
Oh, 475.
We've added a few more after the train jumpers.
So the train jumpers, the food cart attendants, all of us up here on the storage container. We'll find a way to get our numbers where they need to be.
Yes.
Not quite the couple thousand we had in Providence Park a couple days ago, but
close.
There are no throngs of school children that have been bussed to the game for an assembly about fitness and health. So we'll level the playing field.
Well, we do have a number of young players out here from what it looks like to be Eugene Timbers FC and possibly Pilata, two youth clubs that play in the Eugene Springfield area.
Yeah, and that's one of the real nice things about these games. It's a very, it's just a good place, to take the kids, take the family out, and the children get to sort of take over the field at halftime and then after the game. Very nice, something you don't get with with the Providence Park, with the Portland Timbers. Just not going to happen in the MLS.
No. I think it's an enjoyable experience, and I at that age I would have loved to step onto the field and provided everyone with halftime entertainment.
Kitsap trying to move forward here. A little bit of pressure from Lane United, and a lot of pressure there from Sasavarovic. He'll take the ball away.
Good job reading the play there, stepping to the ball, and not allowing Kitsap to turn there and regaining possession ultimately.
And then right after Lane United does take possession, they eventually move it all the way back to Bersano. And
careful here. Ooh.
Yeah, this could be dangerous, but Kitsap player looked like he kind of tripped over his own feet there, and what could have been a great opportunity sort of fell to naught. This could be dangerous too, though, as they try and chip it across, and that one deflected out of play. Corner kick coming up, but Kitsap picking up where they left off in the second half.
Yeah, they're coming at Lane United with good numbers in attack, but you can see the urgency in their body language to get numbers ahead of the ball, creating all sorts of problems for Lane United defenders.
So free kick, or corner kick rather. Numbers in the box. And headed there by Seymour, and now by Jordan Jones. And that one was dangerous as it did fall to a foot for Kitsap, but out of play.
Hammer there, a creative, interesting player for Kitsap. I like his game. I like how he influences the attack. Very mature player with good ideas.
Lane tries to head it out here. Isma Hernandez chests that one down. He goes with a long shot and well wide.
Not a bad idea, though. On the run, in stride. Keeper was off his line a little bit. He could have possibly, had it been on goal, got that in right over the keeper. Always fun, though, to see a player that's capable of getting his eyes up and taking that risk, taking that chance to keep the keeper honest, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and why not? If you're given the space, you'd like to sit in hindsight and say, oh, he could have done this, he could have done that, but he had the shooting space, and
he did.
You take enough of those, one of them's going to go in.
Good. Lane hoping to go to the other side here with the ball.
And right back to Bersano. Touch for Binder.
A little more of support from the midfield there. Lane United pushed all the way forward and then came back into the space, and were almost able there to get the ball through the midfield, and that's something we haven't seen enough of today.
So a throw-in for Kitsap will lead to a throw-in for Lane United. And Kitsap now almost had the ball bounce up and lead right to a break, but they're going to have to try and formulate it if they want it. On the far side and out of touch, or out into touch, throw in for Lane United. Go back to the back four. Standing in a lot of space is Sasavarovic. And Bersano does try to get it to him.
He's going to need some immediate support. Good.
And long ball to Catalunya. Good job from Catalunya there to keep possession.
Yeah, there you can see Catalunya sort of finding and drifting into that space, which is, he found himself in between lines. Kitsap's back line was still a little farther back, and then their midfield line had pushed forward, creating a big gap of space in the middle that Catalunya took advantage of. Now, if we can just get, Lane United, if they can just get a turn there, some more positive play, they might see themselves a little bit higher up the field with the ball.
Well, Kitsap trying to use that far side corner there to set something up. Managing to maintain possession is Kitsap, but then cleared away as they gain that entry pass out into touch off of Mueller's body, so another throw in for Kitsap. And Sasavarovic will get his head and his body in the way of that one. Kitsap knocks it out into touch.
Right in front of Red Aces. That's got to be a tough place to throw a ball in. Yeah, sure they're getting an earful.
We'll see who the throw-in goes to. The Kitsap tried to take it right in front of the assistant referee, whose flag was pointing the opposite direction.
I think the Red Aces made the call.
They've been known to make one or two.
Good. Now hopefully we go to the other side here. Lane United's brought pressure to this side. They've moved Kitsap to this side. Now the next piece is burning him on the other side of the field with urgency.
And Jordan Jones was just not quite able to keep that one, or to knock that one back into play. It had knocked itself out in the air on the way to him. Sasavarovic plays that one to himself and then is forced to just go the other way with it and knock it into touch. Clear the danger temporarily as we approach the hour mark here.
Kitsap might opt to go long here and give Bersano a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah, we saw one long throw in into the box from Lane United in the first half, not this time from Kitsap. So they play it on the ground. They do get it into the box, but have to move it right back out. Now back in, they tried to find Hammer and cleared away by Binder. Lane just trying to make something happen here, and they haven't had a whole lot going in the second half. That could change here, though, as Jordan Jones runs onto that one. Jones made a move and then just had it pickpocketed from him, but we have seen some threatening moments from Lane United. They have been kind of far between. The challenge for them, I think, has been turning that one little flash of a threat into a sustained possession.
Once again, though, Will Seymour playing in that long diagonal, switches the point of attack there and does find Sasavarovic in a 1v1.
So here is Amir's throw-in, and it does go to the box. Hit looked like a Kitsap body, and now back for Will Seymour. Seymour, if he took it immediately, had a shooting opportunity there, but thought better of it. And that will trickle all the way back. Sasavarovic is going to come and collect it. Knock it to Daly Stevens. And DeLuis turns around his man. Trying to find there, but intercepted by Kitsap. Now Seymour trying to move that one towards Isma Hernandez, but it's out of play for a throw-in.
Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. You can also follow at USL PDL on Twitter to become a PDL League insider. Join club conversations.
And far side now for Kitsap. After that throw in there, but intercepted by Vandervelde. Vandervelde trying to combine with Mueller.
Yeah, it's good to see Mueller coming back to the ball, kind of making Kitsap have to think a little bit more and keep an eye on him. Some unpredictable movement by the big forward.
And Sasavarovic got around his man there, gets it to Jordan Jones. Jones trying to get it to the middle here as we kind of get to the past the 60th minute here into sort of substitution territory in this game. What do you think either of these coaches might do to change the game plan here or change some personnel?
I think John Gallis will probably bring on someone that will create a little bit more energy, a little bit more momentum for his team, maybe an attacking player. Obviously no reason to sit back and throw in a defender when down 1-0, but sort of inserting someone that can provide maybe some different ideas in the attack.
And one player you'd like to have the services of today for Lane United is their kind of attacking fixture there, Baldoví, who's injured in the Portland game and not available for selection today, but we saw him come on and make a difference in that exhibition game, and certainly midfield maestro for Lane United last year.
Absolutely.
Makes very good passes, very good shots, and a little bit of showmanship to him as well.
Yeah, no, he's a experienced player.
There's a dangerous one for Kitsap as the through ball creates an opportunity, and it creates 2-0.
It's a great goal. It's great control and composure by the forward to get in the box, sort of not become frantic and put the ball away.
So 64th minute and just a long through ball that led to a breakaway there. Anything you could have done differently defensively?
The line was just caught off guard by a direct ball over the top, and with his pace, he took advantage of it. But I'm more impressed with his composure and his ability to make that finish look easy, which I can tell you from my playing days, not an easy task to do when you have immediate pressure like that on your back.
Yeah, he had pressure to his back, and he had to get around Bersano too. And once he did, that was the easy part. That was the tap in, but
the
certainly,
work to get there was
certainly difficult to get there.
Yes. We'll see how Lane United respond now. With their body language, it looks like they still want to compete, which they should.
It's always, I think, a test for a team when you go down 2-0 is how do you respond, and
absolutely.
Do you challenge and make it 2-1 and make it a game again, or do you sort of loosen up and say, okay, well, here we're beaten, because 2-0 certainly not insurmountable with the amount of time remaining. And I think every commentator ever has made the point 2-0 is the worst lead. It's the worst lead in sports. It's the worst lead in soccer, worst lead in hockey, worst lead in any kind of goal-scoring sport like this. So not over yet, but Lane United does have to get more sustained offense going than we've seen.
Maybe this home crowd can get them inspired to get back in this game.
And speaking of substitutions, we see number 8 in the middle of the field now, Ricky Hurtado, on to play. He's brought down, advantage played, and enough advantage apparently for the referee to not draw it back there. It's a nice welcome to the game for Hurtado. I don't know if he came on at halftime and we just didn't notice it, or if he came on after the goal, but sort of thrown to the pitch there. Doesn't even get the foul out of it. And more miscommunication there. Looked like Catalunya wanted somebody else to go get that one. Hurtado with a nice ball on the ground, and then back to Seymour.
So as you can see, Jones came back to that ball, providing a little bit more support and a different look for Kitsap. They're going to have a little bit harder of a time defending a forward that drops deep. Either you have to go with or you have to back off.
And that one booted downfield by Kitsap, has to be headed by Casey Phillips.
For Lane United, Richie Hurtado in for Matthias Binder.
And it was Binder that Hurtado replaced, so good first start from Binder, did a lot of things well. And we'll see what Hurtado can do off the bench. One of the Spaniards brought in by Coach John Gallus.
Do they have a nickname yet? Is it the
Armada? The Armada they've been referred to as several times, and I like that one as well.
I like it.
Actually, my first little gig in sports was with the independent minor league baseball team called the Armada. So
you're familiar with
got a soft spot for that word.
Quick shout out to our crew today too, doing a fantastic job on this cold evening and an interesting setup we have here.
Yeah, so I know our producer, I think, is right at home in this weather. Alaska native Dylan Lee is probably sweating over here, but not so much myself. The LA kid in me would like it to be warmer in May.
Okay, so we're looking at a set piece here for Lane United. I see five in goal scoring position, maybe a sixth here with Seymour. Really committing numbers forward to see if we can get one. I imagine this ball will be a driven ball towards the edge of the six.
Well, there it is, and it tries to find a head, and having to desperately clear that one out is Kitsap throwing Lane United. Mention our producer Dylan Lee. We'll thank the rest of our crew on camera today is Josh Mahody. My color commentator, of course, Gabriel Hernandez, and Lane United's media coordinator is Chris Burke. And a thank you to each and every one of you as a shot from Catalunya. Header! Saved.
Offsides call on that one. Had it gone in. Linesman had his flag up. Good idea, though.
So maybe for the safety of those sitting around the Red Aces, a good thing that wasn't a goal.
Exactly. So now we're seeing Kitsap doing a little bit what the Timbers did last game, congesting the middle, committing more numbers to the middle, and sort of a tighter man marking there, making it very hard to penetrate.
And long ball there. They try to find Catalunya, but just not quite the right direction on it. Now Kitsap tries another long ball, and looks similar to how they scored their first goal, or their second rather. Into touch and into the grandstand. So, throw in coming. We'll have a substitution coming. Is that Mike Ramos leaving the field, and we'll get the number of the player coming on.
Looks like Ramos stays. Ramos has actually been a very good tool to have up front. I think Kitsap is now sort of gone with the direct ball to Ramos up top by himself, and he's already proven pretty effective on his own. He doesn't. He's not in need of too much support. He's got good pace. From what I see, he's got a great frame and great ideas into the attack.
Well, we're not sure who left, but coming on the field is Logan Miller. I assure you someone did leave for Kitsap. They're not playing with 12. Casey Phillips touches it back to Bersano. And touch for Sasavarovic. Plays it to Seymour. Lane United have certainly tried to use Will Seymour to open things up.
Long switch coming this way.
Sasavarovic thought about playing it upfield. Instead, he goes back to Casey Phillips.
There's that long diagonal again. So this time, though, it's a little bit more of a direct ball that gets in behind a couple lines of pressure of Kitsap.
Long shot, finds ended up finding a head, and then cleared away sky high for Kitsap. Sasavarovic gets to that one, but he just touches it forward, and it's taken by Kitsap.
And considering the point of the game that we're at, I imagine Lane United will start to go a little bit more high pressure, commit more numbers forward, and when the possession is lost, and see if they can win a ball back in the attacking third.
So Sasavarovic to take the throw in, and goes by Jordan Jones and right to the keeper for Kitsap.
YouTube is the league's official online video home, offering live games and feature
Moving
content.
now up the pitch on the near side wing.
YouTube channel today.
A touch for Jacob Bond. And Bond tries to slide it to the wing. Hit the chest of a Kitsap Puma there, going out for a goal kick. '73rd minute of play. Lane United does trail 2-0. One goal coming right at the end of the first half, and another goal about 20 minutes into the second. Kitsap moves back now, and we'd like one more time to thank Oakshire. Lane United FC would like to thank its official Jersey beer and broadcast sponsor, Oakshire Brewing of Eugene. I'd also like to take this moment to remind you that this broadcast is brought to you in part by KMTR News Source 16. KMTR is Lane United's official media partner. Slid into by Kitsap there as they gather possession. They play advantage here, does the referee very briefly.
There's Ramos again. Crafty player.
Well, and he finds himself a corner here.
Ramos provides some good technical ability on the run. And anytime you have a forward that has the ability to do that, you're going to have trouble if you're a back line. He's not only technical, he has a savvy side to him as well, which I think any coaching staff would love to have that type of player.
And got a Lane United player down there. Will scoot himself into touch. Looks like
Cesar Arcampo, our Lane United trainer. Also my neighbor.
Huh. It's a small world.
It is.
And Kitsap will just take the corner, so Lane United's going to have to play with 10 temporarily.
Careful here with the back post.
In to touch, throw in coming once more. '75th minute, 2-0 the score. Kitsap Pumas in the lead. It's the same scoreline that Lane United fell to 2 days ago in Portland. So they're still looking for that first PDL goal of the season, and that was closer than it looked, I think, to 3-0 there.
Yeah, he got a nice little top spin on that ball that was starting to dip, and Bersano looked like he might have been beat had it been between the sticks.
Sasavarovic with a good head there. Hurtado just plays it back to Casey Phillips.
So a little bit more activity by the Lane United midfield. The trio there is a little bit more, you see a little bit more, less static play, more dynamic play, interchanging of positions, which are causing some gaps in the middle of the field. And now we are starting to see passes played in and received.
And Sasavarovic will throw in. Long throw from Sasavarovic, tries to find Mueller's head. He does, and then it went back to the foot of Hurtado, but it just sort of bounces off it out into touch. So throw in Kitsap, 76th minute. So we said 475 on hand here today. That was the announced attendance.
And still staying strong, I think. I haven't seen many people give in to the cold temperatures tonight. We're all still together.
We'll power through it together.
Brendan Anderson on for Christian De Luis.
As that one dangerous there, and it still is dangerous rather, as Kitsap gets it back, trying to move around in the box. Vandervelde clears it very briefly. And Brendan Anderson is on, by the way, for Lane United. Is that shot taken from outside the box, and Bersano equal to it. He'll run up and punt it.
Now it looks like Daly Stevens on the far side there is about to come on for Lane United. Stevens, a local product from South Eugene High School, and also spent some time during the offseason in Spain.
Yeah, and we talk about the South Eugene presence on this team. Very good soccer program that the Axemen have going there.
Sure.
And a couple faces on this team have played and or coached
Sure.
at
Conley,
South Eugene.
Yes, Casey Chubb-Fertile. Yeah, the list goes on and on. Very, very rich soccer history at South Eugene High School.
And I think as you look to the future of Lane United, and maybe, knock on wood, we'll see what happens with Civic Stadium, but if the Reds do end up at Civic right across the street from South Eugene, I think that partnership is only going to strengthen itself.
I'd imagine so.
Here's Christian Catalunya with it, had to speed by a defender, and then couldn't find Mueller. But now Stevens with it. And near the touchline, Kitsap have it. Hurtado a touch for Lane. And Daly Stevens trying to move forward. Kitsap still with it though. Any drastic change you'd make in the last 12 minutes of this game?
Well, if I'm Kitsap, I slow it down. I keep the ball as long as I can. I sort of see out the game, kill the rhythm of the game. No need for too much risk going forward, so not committing too many numbers forward. And then obviously a lot more urgency from Lane United to win the ball back when they don't have it, but sort of get more risky and get some attacking runs in behind their back line. Maybe play a little more direct occasionally, but really trying to get numbers forward. I've liked the change they made with introducing the long diagonal. More of that could result in something, a possible opportunity.
So here is Kitsap with it, and Will Seymour has been he's had to be a big presence today. That's a good ball for Jordan Jones. Jordan Jones trying to move forward, and now has to turn and look back. Finds Christian Catalunya.
Right now we see a center back kind of coming into the mix, making Kitsap either come out and defend and leave space behind them. I think this is something Lane United has to do. Continue to just commit numbers forward, and although it might be a 1v1 in the back, sort of take that risk and see if they can get one back here in the next few minutes.
Our next broadcast will be Friday, June the 5th, when Lane United hosts Calgary. So the Reds will take to the road a little bit here, and so sometimes as a team like this, in a way I might think it almost be a little bit easier to play on the road. You can see things as a business trip a little bit more, and that might be exactly what the Reds need here, as it's been a long, 10 minutes left still in this game for it to change, but I think a rough 170 minutes so far. Sure. 2 goals against in each game so far, and it's not that we haven't seen any promising moments from Lane United. That's not it at all. They just haven't been able to put the ball in the back of the net in PDL play. Right.
No, I think one thing that Lane United has proven to its fans and to its coaching staff is that there's not much worry about what happens in the back line. I think they're pretty well organized there. They can play out. They have capable players that are able to play out of pressure. I think the next focal point will be on the midfield and the forwards, getting more of an attack, sort of getting the creative piece out of some of your players so it shows up more in these games.
A little bit of frustration there, I think, from Ricky Hurtado with the tackle, and didn't exactly avoid the area after the tackle, just sort of walked straight by and or over the man, but he'll get a lecture, but nothing more.
Just looked like a frustration foul there. But all is well, just a little talking to by the referee, but no cards.
And a substitution also for Kitsap is member of the Red Aces is trying to spark the crowd a little bit. They play quick, do Kitsap. And this could be dangerous indeed. Penetrating into the box. Ball still plopping around there and turning and shooting there up and over the goal in the 82nd minute.
Flares are out for Red Aces.
Oh, you brought them to the game. You might as well use them.
Might as well.
And not sure anyone told CMS, the crowd management, that there would be flares.
Well, this guy's on his own. I'd like to see how he deals with this.
Yeah, I think he'll probably just watch and make sure things stay safe. Can't think there's too many other PDL teams with flares at their games, but
no, it makes us unique.
It's good, and a very passionate soccer community in Eugene and in Oregon as a whole. Oakshire, a big part of that. You may have, not sure anyone watching may have been part of the crowd at Oakshire watching the U.S. World Cup games, but that place was absolutely packed, and it was great to see for American soccer.
And for beer drinkers.
And for, well, it's a good combination.
It is, so I hear.
If you haven't paired the two together before, I highly recommend it. This ball goes to the smoke. And the flares are done. It's an exciting minute and a half for the Red Aces.
This this linesman here on this side, I think he didn't appreciate it as much as the Red Aces did.
No, I don't think he did. I'm not sure anyone told him that was going to happen.
Hopefully he's not asthmatic.
Well, Sasavarovic flips it in. They get ahead and over the bar.
Great opportunity there by Mueller. Good build-up play, though, here on the left side, getting it to a wider space, and then a good ball served in for that far post run. And unfortunately, not under the bar, though. Yeah,
if Sasavarovic and Mueller can find each other that way consistently, they will not all miss.
No, it looks like this will be a part of the attack, the Lane United attack, that will continue to flourish. We'll start or continue seeing the outside ball to Mueller and probably Jones too, considering their size and their ability in the air. It looks like they have well-timed jumps and sort of fearless in the air.
Substitution for Lane United. Number 9, Rolando Velasquez on for number 5, Christian Catalunya.
Rolando, a Junction City product.
And we saw Velasquez a lot in the preseason game. Haven't seen him so far yet in PDL play, but he's a player very good in tight spaces and very adept passer. So we'll see what he can bring to the table here. Some game action in the last 5 minutes of this one as we approach minute number 86. Daly Stevens has that one on the ground and does find Jordan Jones, who will try to do-si-do around his man, but almost forgot the ball, so had to slow down and go back with it as Lane United plays to the back.
Now you can see a little more urgency. The ball, the circulation of the ball is a lot faster than it was sort of in the earlier stages of this game and in this half, and that could be because of the scoreline.
And Hurtado doing a good job there of trying to keep possession. Eventually lost it, but it's no harm as Kitsap is offside on the play in the 86th minute. Visiting Kitsap Pumas lead 2-0 on a 45th minute free kick goal and a 64th minute goal on a breakaway and a great move setting it up from Mike Ramos. Red Aces still making noise and Lane United still trying to make a little noise of their own here. Mueller with it and has it tackled away.
Daly Stevens doing some good work, changing the game a little bit. He's floating in those spaces in the midfield, and he is that type of player that can get lost in the midfield because he's so small and he can find these gaps and sort of lose his mark. And he's doing a good job of now receiving those balls and trying to make an attack out of it. So something we didn't see in the first half. It's a good little addition here for the second half.
And long ball played by Kitsap, but headed by the Reds, and here's some possession for Daly Stevens. Had to chase it down, and that one gets by Sasavarovic, but kept in play for Lane United, and the whistle goes the Reds' way on a free kick. Rolando Velasquez ran into his man, and obstruction there. Free kick Lane United. 88th minute here. Would be quite the comeback if it could be launched by the Reds. I think even one goal would have a lot of value just to get into the goals column in PDL play.
Maybe get another round of flares if that happens.
We'll see if they've got that much stock with them. Seymour pushed down there and offered a hand up, but had no interest in the assistance that Logan Miller was offering.
He wants to play. He realizes his team is down 2-0 and needs to get the ball circulating again.
And he finds Stevens there.
Stevens again, getting the ball in spaces of the field that really wasn't happening in the first half.
And they tried to move that forward to Velasquez. It's knocked out of play. And here's Rolando with it again. Slides it forward for Seymour. Seymour forward and free kick coming up for Lane United in a dangerous spot. So a lot of options here for Lane United. Pretty close to goal and pretty central.
Yeah, the fact that it's central means shot on goal. It's very difficult to pick a post to chip this ball into. I think nice driven ball over the wall even would do it. We'll see. It looks like Velasquez is the one lining up to hit this. He's a savvy player. He has good touch. He has more than enough ability to put this in the back of the net.
Well, Velasquez lined up. Seymour also behind the play. Dick Vandervelde also behind the ball. But it will be Velasquez, and it's up and over the bar.
Just got underneath it a little bit too much. So he lifted it. Still had some topspin, but just was leaning back and got a little bit too much under the ball. Therefore, it floated over.
Well, we're into the last minute of regulation here. 2-0 still the score, with Kitsap leading. Kitsap has been one of the best teams in the Northwest Division the last several years, so no surprise to see them fielding another strong team this year.
No, they have some interesting pieces to their team. You know, they're very organized in the back. You know, they have just enough midfield to get that ball to through Hammer and then to Ramos, and those two cause some problems for the opposition.
And they are also, as we mentioned briefly in our opening, the only pro team that Lane United will play in the Northwest Division this year. So just a little bit different culture and a little bit different way of doing things. And a lot harder to read numbers on the back of the jerseys.
Yeah, we'll have to put in a request for
second half. Indeed. Second half stoppage time here. 2-0 looks mightily like it's going to be the final score. But we'll see if Lane United, or Kitsap for that matter, have anything to say about that. Brendan Anderson with a touch. Now a long ball there. Lane United will try to find Mueller. And Mueller will run straight into the goalkeeper there and earn himself a yellow card that I don't think he mind earning.
No, anytime you commit a foul on a keeper, referees are always going to either give a stern warning or a yellow card. You know, protecting the goalkeeper is something that's extremely important, especially in those type of situations where a player that is in full stride could easily run into a keeper in a 50-50 challenge and do some damage. So it's a good thing that the referees keep them protected. It is a tough position when it comes down to those type of sequences.
It is, and Grossi had his reaching for it. Was Grossi, the goalkeeper, was reaching for his pocket before he hit the ground there,
yes.
But I don't think he really needed to. I don't think that's why the card was doled out there.
Right.
No malice, but, you know, just a big collision. Mueller's a big dude, and
yes,
you're going to fall down when he runs into you.
Yes, you will.
Just waiting on the final whistle here. We are into second half stoppage time. The score still 2-0 for Kitsap. It's the same scoreline the Reds fell to the Portland Timbers U23s just 2 days ago. One more time, a thank you to everybody else involved in our production. My name is Isaac Rosenthal. I've been with you on play-by-play if you haven't muted us yet. Gabriel Hernandez is my color commentator. Our cameraman today, Josh Mahody. Media coordinator, as always, for Lane United is Chris Burke, and our trusty producer is Dylan Lee. So a thank you to each and every one of you guys and each and every one of you, too, watching. Lane trying to find Mueller one more time. They get it to his head. Jordan Jones gets into it. Jones takes a shot, but a save there from Grossi.
A little too little, or it's a little too late for that, yeah.
A little bit too little, too late, but
you know, it was a great run, a great ball in, but coulda, shoulda, woulda happened earlier on, and maybe we get a result.
But encouraging to see, you know, players like Mueller and Jones that have that kind of almost fraternal connection with each other. They can just think on the same wavelength, and we haven't seen it that much yet this season, but I certainly think we're going to continue to see it.
Yeah, well, they're going to need a supporting cast, too, behind them to sort of support their ideas. So I imagine we'll see that in the upcoming games.
Free kick coming for Kitsap could pretty much be the last kick of the ball. We're not sure officially how many minutes of stoppage time we have, or frankly how many we've already had. Long kick there for Kitsap. Throw in coming for Lane United. Referee glances at his watch. Will Seymour now. Knockdown whistle comes. And there it is. We've played 90 minutes and stoppage time. The final score, Kitsap Pumas 2, Lane United FC 0. And that is, as we said, 2 PDL games, 2-0 losses. Biggest things you think Lane United's got to do to improve upon moving forward?
Well, you look at these 2 games and you see a very limited amount of opportunities on goal, and I mean clear opportunities. So I think when they go back to training, the focus is on creating or finding some players that or introducing some creative ideas in the midfield, and then getting the ball from the midfield into our highest line of attackers.
All righty, Gabriel. Well, thank you so much for all of your help today and all of your help on Thursday as well. As we mentioned, our next home broadcast will be Friday, June 5th at 7 p.m. Boy, June is coming up. How about that?
Yeah,
but Calgary in town, and Lane United will have a couple of road games there, maybe sort themselves out. And one more thank you to our official media partners, KMTR News Source 16 in Eugene. Every broadcast brought to you in part by KMTR, and of course, Oakshire. Lane United would like to thank its official Jersey beer and broadcast sponsor, Oakshire Brewing of Eugene. For Gabriel Hernandez, my name is Isaac Rosenthal. Thank you so much for listening, and have a fantastic weekend.